What's up? For today's book review, we're going to be looking at a favorite of mine, Old Man and the Sea. And this is actually my second reading of it. I think my first reading was in high school. But yeah, we're going to talk about some things that stood out to me in my second reading and I guess summarize a bit of it. First, it's a very simple story, and I think that's why I like it, because I have a very simple mind. And it's that an old man, an unlucky old man, who's also a fisherman, goes out into sea and he catches the biggest marlin that he has ever seen, or perhaps even has heard about. And he decides to take it home, but the thing is, he runs into many obstacles along the way, which, whether it's struggling with the fish, trying to reel it in, or the sharks come out and try to take bites and chunks off the fish, he comes home with nothing to show for any of his hard work, for any of his suffering. He comes home with only the skeleton of the fish, which he can't really sell. So yeah, you come to realize that this story is one in which no one really wins. I think one way you could describe it is a Pyrrhic victory, in which both sides take heavy losses. But really, I just believe that no one really wins. There's no clear... There is no winner in the end. And I think that's one of the reasons why this story stood out to me. The first time that I read this book, it was refreshing for me. I've never really read a story where the main character really loses. So yeah, it was just very refreshing. It reminds me a lot of Endgame, or I don't think it was Endgame, the Avengers movie, where the main, like Thanos, he's sitting in the grass and he's just admiring his work after killing half of the entire universe, and then the movie just ends. And I don't want it to be a cheap trick now where the main character just dies or loses. I think in Old Man and the Sea, it's used perfectly to convey this sense of suffering, to convey the reality of life. Or this could be my own cynical view of reality. One in which not everyone wins, but I mean, it's the truth, right? Not everyone wins in this world. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. I'm sorry that I couldn't sugarcoat that. But we're here to talk about Old Man in the Sea, a book about strong, stubborn men who can fish anything, even if it's like an 18-foot marlin. But we're going to talk about that too, because that's not entirely true either. The strong old man. In the story, the man is constantly described as strong, whether it's like his muscly features on his body, or this entire section about a man arm wrestling a guy. The old man won, and then won like every single arm wrestle after that. The man is strong, right? But that's not really the case. Deep down, that's not the case. And we're gonna look into the character of the boy. Now, the boy is a character introduced in the beginning of the novel. He basically helps out the old man, whether it's feeding him food or bringing him the local paper. The boy is there to help. He fished with the old man before, but since the old man was so unlucky, he didn't catch a fish for like 84 days. The parents of the boy decided he should go to another fisherman where they were more successful, and the boy agreed. But he still helps out the old man. And even as he helps out the old man, the man rejects all his offers. Whether it's food, the man will say, "Nah, I'm good, I'm not hungry," or "I have some food later on," which is a lie. Or when the boy offers to go with him on the grand trip that we read for the entire novel, the old man says, "Nah, I'll just go myself. You're fine." That's not really the case though, because throughout the entire story, the old man constantly says, "Man, I wish the boy was here." Whether it was helping him catch the marlin, which he was unsuccessful in really catching, something as simple as aches or pains in his hand, he wishes that the boy was there. And I really think it speaks to this human nature, where we try to put on this mask, we put on this face that we're strong, that we're independent, that we don't need anyone's help. But deep down, we do. Even if it's a young boy, which sounds weird. I do want to talk about the weird relationship between the old man and the boy, specifically in that it's not weird. I'm not here to support weird young old people relationships. That's not what I'm here to do. I think in the story it's very innocent. The old man constantly says that he loves the boy. The boy constantly says that he loves the old man. This sounds really weird talking about out loud. Very respectfully, nothing erotic in any way. Nothing like the Greeks, which I think were erotic, right? They were erotic. No, it's more like this old man just wants some companionship, and it's nothing sexual. Like a very genuine platonic companionship, someone to lean on for help. Even though he loves the boy, it's more of like this familial love. So there's nothing weird going on. I just want to clear that, get that out of the way before anything is taken out of context, or you guys are like, oh my god, old man and little boys. Oh, that is weird. But in this case, no. So now that we got that aside, I'd like to talk about the relationship now. The super sexual relationship between the man and the fish. There's actually nothing sexual about the old man and the fish. But there's something very respectful about it. No matter what, throughout the entire story, the man never thinks he's better than the fish. He might joke and say, man, I'll outlast this fight, fish. I'll get ya. But that never happens. Because at the end of the day, and what the man recognizes is that the fish and the old man are equal all the way through. Even after the fish's death, they are still brothers. And the only thing the man regrets is that he went too far out into the sea. I'm getting Icarus vibes with him flying too close to the sun. I don't think that can be applied here though, so let's just forget what I just said about Icarus. We can talk about Icarus later. For now, we'll talk about the old man and the fish. One of the things he calls the fish is a brother. And he even says, on the way back, the sharks are biting off parts of the fish. He even mentions that the sharks, every time they bite the fish, it's like an attack on the old man. In a way, the fish and the man, they're equal. They are one. Which, I guess now we took a sexual turn. Let's not go there. The old man and the fish. When the fish gets tired, when the fish is doing something that indicates that the fish is tired, the man will then say that he is tired, that his arm is starting to cramp, that his back is starting to ache. The fish and the man get equally tired. The old man, I think the closest he ever gets to basically saying that he has won over the fish is just in saying that in the end, he caught the fish, really. But he also concedes and says that maybe the only way that he won was through trickery. So yeah, I think we talked about, we did a quick summary, I think. I hope we did. My memory's awful. We did a little comparison between the boy and the man. We talked about the deep insecurities of man and our deep needs, our deep desires for help. We also talked about an equal, respectful relationship, a non-sexual, of course, relationship with the man and the Marlin. Yeah, do you really need to talk about anything else about the old man other than it being one of the first examples of a Pyrrhic, or I guess one of the first famous examples of a Pyrrhic victory? This is the original Infinity War, Old Man and the Sea. Why is it my favorite and why would I recommend it to you? One is that Hemingway is a very interesting soul. And I think the more I grow up, the more I realize I'm very similar to him, and there is a high likelihood that you are too. We're not going to go into Hemingway's depression and his eventual suicide. We're going to talk about how intellectual he is. There's a bit of Hemingway in everyone, and you'll find that in the story as well. There's a bit of you in Santiago. Of course, in a non-weird way. I'm sorry to take it there. I just want to clarify. And I just realized that if I don't edit this shit out, yeah, I guess my thoughts are just on the internet. Yeah, what did I want to talk about? If you're here for the book review, it's done. You can say goodbye now. It's an old book. I don't expect anyone to look up this review. I don't expect anyone to feel spoiled. How dare Dino Soup spoil the ending of Old Man and the Sea? I wanted to know if the old man won, and you spoiled it for me. Buddy, Hemingway went to World War I. It's an old book. All right? Relax. What else? Really nothing else. It's one of my favorite books. I love a little Pyrrhic victory, Pyrrhic loss. What else is there to say? Yeah. I hope I didn't desecrate my favorite book. It's possible that with books I like the most, my mind can't develop any reasoning as to why I like them. But yeah. Anyways, that was the super formal, super serious, super non-edited, or maybe I will edit. Maybe I'll surprise you guys in edited book review of Old Man and the Sea. I don't usually rate books because why would I rate a book? It's a piece of art. Speaking of art, I took up watercoloring. I drew this today. What do you think about it? Now, if you think it's cool, I mean, it is cool. Not to toot my own horn. I kind of used a reference on Google Images. You can leave now if you're not here for the book review. I'm just talking my ass off because I like doing that. That's why I make a YouTube video. Pro tip, if anyone makes YouTube videos and they just talk, it's probably because they love looking at their handsome little face. Or they're genuinely funny. Or you're neither and you're me. What am I talking about? Yeah. Old Man in the Sea. Can't wait for it to be me. Bars. See ya.